Another year, another season finale. And what a finale it was. Roll the intro.
My little pony, what is friendship all about? My little pony, friendship is magic.
Greetings, my Brony and Pegasus friends. Welcome to Crimson Analysis. In this episode, I will be analyzing Season 7, Episode 25 and 26, Shadow Play, the season finale. This episode may be a little bit longer than others, considering the fact that I'm doing 2 episodes at once, and because there's a lot to get through. So please try and bear with me. The episode begins with the all-popular storybook format, and we learn about the pillars, precursors to the elements of harmony.
The best elements within us can spread light and virtue. And I know ponies who represent them all. Strength, bravery, healing, beauty, hope, and sorcery. We must now face the fiend with the only plan we have.
I only hope it will be enough. That's the last entry. And maybe Star Swirl's final words before he vanished.
Wait, that was Star Swirl's voice? That was Star Swirl the Beard's voice? We learn now that everything we heard about the old legends was true. Those ponies actually existed. I knew they'd come into the finale somehow. There's no way they'd give us episodes based solely on legends and not have it somehow be important. Celestia has a little bit of trouble with Old Ponish, so it falls to Twilight and Sunburst to figure it out.
Think of the research, the rereading, the re-rereading.
Twilight 2.0. After 3 days of searching, it falls to Starlight to figure it out.
Herc Silphum se Ponehenge. What's that?
The Temple of Ponehenge? You can read that?
The horn writing's pretty sloppy, but it's nowhere near as bad as mine.
So apparently Starlight's writings are as bad as a doctor's, and she can read what Star Swirl wrote. This is a cool place. I've never been here before. Again with the tail. What is it with ponies and grabbing Rainbow's tail? What? I'm okay. I'm fine. Let's go on. And we finally get to see Star Swirl the Bearded. We've heard about him multiple times over 7 seasons, and now we finally get to see him and hear him speak. It's not Ian McKellen or Patrick Stewart like we had speculated. I myself was going for Liam Neeson. But I'm not too disappointed. He has a good voice. I like it. We get some history on Equestria here. Apparently all the legends happened around the same time, as it looks like every pony knows each other, and they actually helped to save Equestria. Now we know what happened to them all. And we are treated to some more adorable Twilight.
I know I finished one of Star Swirl's spells before, but this one was on a whole different level. Was it an explosion of magical feedback? An evocation? A kind of incantation? It's Star Swirl, so the possibilities are endless!
Twilight, darling, we understand you're excited, but that's all we understand.
They used their magic to open a portal between worlds, to Limbo, and pulled the Pony of Shadows inside.
Darling, your diorama!
I made more!
Wait, if they're all in Limbo, then that means they're still alive, as time doesn't move there.
That's the thing about Limbo. It isn't one place or another. It's in between, so time stands still.
Yes, I just said it, Twilight.
Opening portals between worlds didn't work out well for me.
No, it didn't. But you weren't exactly opening portals through worlds, you were opening portals through time. It's a little different. Now, each pony is sent to find relics that belong to the pillars.
Professor, it's a mighty helm headpiece! Maybe it belonged to Rockhoof himself!
Petunia! Good to see that archaeology key mark is being put to good use. Indiana Jones pony. Now each pony does something incredible, which allows them to find the relic they need. Now this guy again. And of course he has the shield. So, in an effort to embarrass Spike, he tries to race him for the shield. And Spike actually wins, but being the dragon he is, he's a sore loser. Rainbow Dash, however, decides to outthink Garble, and it proves to be fairly easy. If history has taught us anything, dragons are not very smart.
I'm pretty sure I could beat you anyway, but with that heavy hunk of metal on your back, it'll be a snap.
Huh? Oh yeah, thanks for the tip.
And we have Darren Do in the finale. I love her, it's always great to see her. Aww, Fluttershy is adorable in that mask. Yeah, I think we all know what the problem is going to be here. You can open a portal, but as we learned in Hellboy, you cannot control what comes through it. And we actually get to see all the legendary ponies in the flesh. This is amazing. I knew they'd come into play somehow in the finale, but I did not expect this. With Star Swirl, we actually see Star Swirl the Bearded. Hey. Nope. Hey! Don't worry, I'm okay. Don't give me that look. You know this happened to you when you saw him.
You cannot bring only the pillars back!
Yeah, exactly. I think we all saw this coming. The Pony of Shadows destroys Ponehenge, which means they have to find a different way to banish him back. And now we have a power level for Twilight.
This one is almost as strong as you, Star Swirl. But even in my weakened state, she cannot stop the might of shadows.
Yes, that's it.
That is a riddle we must unravel, and quickly.
Hey, we got a voice for her.
And the realm has been at peace for a millennia.
Yeah, about that.
We did have to save everybody from Nightmare Moon and Discord and Chrysalis and King Sombra and Lord T-Rex, and there was that one time when Starlight traveled through time and almost destroyed life as we know it.
If you were truly this accomplished, we will stop the Pony of Shadows twice as fast together.
Yeah, Rainbow Dash and this guy will get along very well. This scene has a major plot point in it, but I'll talk about this at the end because there's some stuff I need to go over.
Then it did work.
Awesome, we get a voice for you too. The ponies travel Equestria looking for the Pony of Shadows. Ah, that bonnet is adorable. Twilight, being the pony she is, discovers a way to send the Pony of Shadows back to Limbo, but still keep the legendary ponies here.
That's odd. The only time the maps called all of us to one place was Starlight's village.
So it's like a supervillain tracker!
Aw, come on. Are you ever gonna let her forget that?
No offense!
Congratulations, Starlight. You are now an official reformed villain.
The Tree of Harmony acting to protect the light of the realm. Yes, a good thought, Twilight.
That's an interesting concept to think about.
The maps only ever sent us to solve friendship problems.
You're right, that's true. Now I get an awesome flashback with the Sirens. Friendship is Magic and Equestria Girls confirmed canon. I always believed they were canon myself, but this confirms it. This brings about an interesting conflict. Everyone is trying to figure out a way to banish the Pony of Shadows. Yet Starlight believes that they should just talk to him because of the fact that the friendship map called all of them, and it's only ever been used for friendship problems, not for tracking supervillains or for banishing. And we get to see them once again. Those necklaces and that crown. It's been a long time. I've never been here. I've traveled all over Equestria, but I've never seen this place. It must be pretty remote. That's surprising considering the fact I have a thing for old abandoned villages. They open the portal and attempt to banish him, but Twilight notices something.
There's a pony in there.
But instead of sharing and letting me help, my friends threw me out. So I became stronger than any of them. The darkness welcomed me when no pony would.
This sounds a lot like the Nightmare Moon issue. As he explains his issue, all the ponies outside can hear him, and Twilight. Starlight also decides to come in to help out. Realizing they were wrong, everybody pitches in to help pull him out. But Twilight, you can fly. Why did you climb out?
Friendship power rush! Wow!
Typical Pinky.
The elements! They didn't disappear!
Maybe because we used them for healing magic instead of banishing?
Oh, wow. That's an interesting observation, Fluttershy. That's a big deal. And Twilight finally gets the recognition from her idol that she deserves.
Thank you for helping us see the errors of our ways, Twilight. It seems I never accounted for the magic of friendship.
Thank you, Swirl Star. Star Swirl.
I am so happy they included this scene. I was so concerned they weren't going to show this. It's always so great to see the sisters being less regal than just being normal ponies. Final thoughts? I really enjoyed this episode. However, there are a couple more things I want to go over before I end. First of all, I want to talk about the voices for the characters. To begin with, we had heard every voice except for Rockcliffe and Somnambula. Every other voice we had heard in the flashbacks, and I really loved the voices they chose. Specifically Somnambula. I really love her voice.
Each of us infused a crystal seed with our magic in hopes that it would grow into a force for good.
Rockcliffe is kind of a, I want to say Russian.
Come, we must prepare for the struggle ahead.
But anyway, my favorite voices are Somnambula, and I've had to say Flash Madness as well.
If you are truly this accomplished, we will stop the Pony of Shadows twice as fast together.
There's quite a lot of speculation of who would play his voice if we ever saw Star Swirl. Names that was thrown out was Anne McCullen and Patrick Stewart, although I myself was kind of hoping for Liam Neeson. We didn't get either of them, but I'm okay with that, considering the fact that his voice sounds pretty good.
The realm has grown, and I believe I'll have a look around before I settle in any one place.
Now, I have a couple of issues with this scene.
This map, and indeed this very castle, are grown from the seed we planted over 1,000 years ago.
Each of us infused a crystal seed with our magic in hopes that it would grow into a force for good.
We wanted to leave something to protect the realm in our absence, but we never dreamed our gift would become so powerful.
Y'all mean the elements came from you?
They are reflections of our own elements of hope, strength, beauty, bravery, healing, and sorcery.
We had no idea our small seed would bloom into the living spirit of the land.
This was a major plot point in the story, but it sort of scrambles canon a little bit. I mentioned in the very first video that I am considering the Journal of the Two Sisters to be canon. I consider this book to be proper canon because of the fact that it is referenced by title in the show. Not only that, there are references from the book, direct passages that Twilight reads in the show from the book. So this book, in my mind, is proper show canon because of that fact. And in that story, they are shown the tree by Star Swirl. In fact, I'm going to play you a little audio clip.
Dear Diary, Luna and I were talking with Star Swirl about that tree in the ravine at the edge of the Everfree Forest, and he told us that it's not any ordinary tree. It is the Tree of Harmony. Oh my gosh! I couldn't believe it. I totally flipped. I mean, I literally flipped in the air. Luna snorted at me and rolled her eyes because I'm such a dork. But to me, it was like meeting the most famous tree in the world. But that's because it's actually the most famous tree in the world. I've read about the Tree of Harmony in books, but I didn't know that it actually existed. According to the legends, the Tree of Harmony is incredibly powerful and is said to hold the elements of all that is good and true. It's such a fascinating tree, and I'm so drawn to it. On it are 3 markings: a sun, a moon, and a star. I've asked Star Swirl what these stand for, but he seems to have no idea. I don't know why, but I feel like the sun image is calling to me. Is that weird? Luna and I are both so drawn to the Tree of Harmony that we decided to build the castle of the Two Sisters above the ravine. Star Swirl agreed, saying that having our castle built near the Tree of Harmony would give us strength and help us protect Equestria. Celestia.
That was a reading done by Midnight Sonnet on YouTube. I highly recommend you check out her channel. She's awesome. Now, if we were to take that as canon, that means the tree was around before anything with the Pony of Shadows happened, and the tree didn't actually grow from the seed that the players planted. But if you listen closely, this doesn't actually arrive in conflict. Take a look at this clip.
This map, and indeed this very castle, are grown from the seed we planted over 1,000 years ago.
Starsworld doesn't actually say the tree. He says the map and the castle itself were grown from the seed. He doesn't say anything about the tree being from that seed. Fascinating seatbelts here because I'm about to explain my headcanon. There is no support from the show at all for this, but this is what I think happens. The pillars planted that seed near the actual tree. For whatever reason, that's where they decided to plant it. It seemed like the best place for it. Now, when the elements are returned to the tree, we think the chest sprouted from the tree. What if it didn't? What if the elements, being in the tree, somehow activated it? When the elements were returned, we saw the rainbow appear on the tree, the rainbow snaked down the tree, and then through into one of the roots, and then a plant sprouted with the chest. What if the plant wasn't actually from the tree itself? What if somehow the tree activated that seed to sprout a completely separate plant that had the chest in it? While this isn't confirmed in the episode, and probably never will be, it stands to reason that if the Journal of Two Sisters is show canon, and I believe it is, this story can still hold the canon. I'm afraid I have a little bit more headcanon story to go through, so please bear with me. Take a look at this scene.
I am glad we have the chance to see what has grown from our efforts so long ago.
Somnambula's line seems to completely destroy the entire story I just mentioned, but not quite. She says what grew from our efforts, not what grew from the seed we planted. More equestrian history headcanon time. When Celestia and Luna first saw the tree, it was right after they had been crowned princesses of Equestria. They didn't even have their cutie marks at this point. What if the elements weren't in the tree at that point? What if the tree was young enough at that point that it had not sprouted the elements yet? We know from show canon that Celestia and Luna found the elements in the tree and then used those to trap Discord. If the elements had already been in the tree at that point, Celestia and Luna would have known about them, and therefore Discord would not have had the chance to reign at all. Now this is going far into the speculation part of it. So each one of the pillars had an artifact that they used. We had the shovel, the shield, the blindfold, the flower, and the mask, and Starsworld's book. What if, when those pillars planted the seed near the tree, that's what sparked the growth of the elements? After all, Somnambula says herself,
Each of us infused a crystal seed with our magic in hopes that it would grow into a force for good.
So what if the tree of harmony, being in contact or near contact to that seed, somehow spilled through and created the elements of harmony? We know from the book at the beginning of the story that the pillars were precursors to the elements of harmony. So if each one of them has magic in that crystal seed, it could have spilled through into the tree of harmony and sprouted the elements of harmony. After all, Somnambula only talks about seeing what came of their efforts, not what came of the seed. Now I know these are very much in the realm of conspiracy theories, but based on the evidence we have from the show, I think they work. Now granted, there isn't a lot of evidence in the show considering these stories as canon, but we have to work with the evidence we have. And the evidence, I think, seems to point to these stories being true. I'm sure there are a lot of theories out there, and probably a lot of fan fiction will be written about this. But this is my version of events. This is my headcanon. If later on in coming seasons it's destroyed and we actually told what happens, fine, I'll change my headcanon. I'll change my story. But for right now, this is my headcanon. Well, that's it for right now. This was an amazing episode. I loved it so much. I give this episode an easy 10 out of 10. So this is the 4th episode I've given a 10 out of 10 to. The other 3 are A Hearthwarming Tale, To Where and Back Again, Perfect Pair, and now this one, Shadow Play. Well, that's all for this episode of Crimson Analysis. I'm Crimson Shield. Thanks for watching. Wait, one more thing before we end. Now that we're at the season hiatus, I will not be getting out videos as regularly as I usually do. I will try to get out a few during the hiatus. I've been wanting to try my hoof at some top 10s, so maybe I'll do some of those. I have talked about doing a top 10 cutest background characters before. I will try to get some videos out during the hiatus though. Until next time, I'm Crimson Shield. I thank you guys if you have stuck with me through this long analysis. If you like what I do, then please like, comment, and subscribe, and favorite if it's your favorite. And while you're at it, why not turn on notifications, so you will be notified when I make another video.